Hi, I'm Jasmina Abduganieva, and you are listening to the Woodhenge podcast.
Welcome back for episode 4 of the Woodhenge podcast. I'm Mr. DeSanctis.
And I'm Miss Frederick.
We're glad you were here. Thanks so much to everybody who has reached out, sent an email, sent a message on Instagram, or literally just stopped by our rooms to say hi. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he said.
What he said.
So we're about a month into the school year now. And I think Harleman had an email last week of like, we do still have a long way to go, which I think was the first time I looked at it and was like, yeah, we're only a month in. So I think the grind kind of feels real now.
It does. I feel like my students are personally going into reading Fahrenheit 451, and they had just completed a quasi-essay, and my non-honor students are jumping into speeches, which is crazy. And yeah, we're just getting the grind and a lot of coffee already. A lot of coffee.
We just ordered more to stock up for this September push. Since I guess we're bougie coffee people now.
We are.
So now fall starts in 2 weeks.
Oh my God, really?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
I mean, it's getting cooler out.
It is getting cooler out after a stretch of 90 degrees. I know Labor Day weekend was hot.
It was scorching.
But now it'll transition to fall. What are we excited for?
Football.
Football's back.
I'm so excited.
Football's back. NFL came back last Thursday. College football's back last Saturday. Are we just excited for Bengals? Joey B with the new contract?
Joey B. Oh my God. Yeah, his contract. That's crazy. I love the Bengals. I wasn't a fan before because I didn't know anything about football. And then I got a fiance who loves football, and that's what we do on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays and the rest of forever.
So after working in sports for so long, it took me like a decompression time. Like I didn't watch sports for a couple years, and now I'm getting back up on that horse. So my wife and I have been trying to figure out which college team we want to root for this season. We're planning on like just picking a random team, and just diving in, because I was like, game day snacks are my jam.
Same.
Like, let's just post up on a Saturday, eat some food, hang out, and watch this random school that we have no tie to, because our alma mater doesn't have a football program. So I can kind of pick whatever. She said Hawaii. And I was like, I mean, they don't kick until like 2 a.m. Eastern time, so maybe not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stay tuned for who we're going to root for, because I'm, again, like we talked about Mason, I'm not really from here. So, yeah. All right. Well, the bell's ringing, so class has to start, which means that we're going to get into this episode. Is this 4? Yeah, 4.
Episode 4.
With our first student guest, Jasmina, and I'm not going to try and say the last name out of respect for her. I'll let you try it.
Okay. Well, we'll try here in a minute.
Let's try it. Here we go with episode 4. Thank you so much for listening to the Woodhenge podcast.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back to the Woodhenge podcast. I'm Mr. DeSanctis.
And I'm Miss Frederick.
And we are thrilled to be joined by our first ever student guest. I feel like we're moving up in the world.
We are. Jasmina, ready? Abduganieva. Okay.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't practice that for 5 minutes before we started
really
recording.
did, and that was the worst part.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No, don't lie.
No, I promise. Your pronunciation is actually one of the best in like the whole school.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's definitely a name that if I saw it on my roster, I would have a mid-level panic.
I was so shocked when I heard Mr. Schuler say it first, because he
Did he do it right?
And he did it perfectly the first time, and I was like,
good job, Kevin.
You're the first person in America.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
I still get people that struggle out with my name, and that one kind of threw me off. I didn't think
really?
my name was that hard. Yeah.
DeSanctis.
And now, but it's not even DeSantis. I think what's happened in the world politically has made it default to DeSantis, but no, it's DeSanctis. Now I am related to some DeSantises, because when they came through like the immigration stations, they would drop the C. Back in like the 1910s and 1920s when my family all came over. So like I am related to some DeSantises, but it's not. I did have a couple of kids calling me Mr. Smith last year, because was it last year? Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. And then God bless Miss Lockhart. She was trying to figure out who Mr. Smith was, and then she looked down the teachers and was like, I think DeSanctis is the only one who would be
close.
That guy to do that.
The only thing people mess up for my name is they just add an S onto it, like Frederick's, like plural. I don't know why. I don't even correct people anymore, because
Is that like how people call it Kroger's?
Yeah.
Is that just a Midwest thing that I'm still figuring out?
That is a Midwest thing. Go into the Kroger's.
It's not possessive. It's not plural.
No,
You're going
they
to
just
one Kroger.
add an S. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
No Kroger?
No, actually, like, my parents are immigrants, so, like, they say it in such weird ways.
Oh.
They go, Kroger.
Oh. I love that.
Yeah.
Kroger.
And, like, you know, like, Kohl's, for example.
Oh, God.
It's Kohl's. It's Kohl's for them.
Kohl's.
Oh, the hard H.
Nice.
It's crazy. I'm like, guys, no, it's not. And then Nike, it's like Nike.
Nike. Okay, yeah.
Please stop. Like, please stop.
That's so funny.
Or is that just the English language really being a pain?
I mean, it's probably both.
Maybe we shouldn't ask the English teacher, but...
Oh, God.
Well,
so.
after that adventure, we're glad you're here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you as well to Zawodny for her flexibility.
Yes,
and being
thank
cool.
you so much. Z-Dog in the house.
I'm missing a Desmos activity for this, guys. Come on.
Dang. She said that you're really smart and you can make up for it, so you're good.
Thank you.
So,
again,
no pressure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do really love being here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Officially, welcome to the podcast. We know you moved out here from Brooklyn. I don't know that there's anyone in the building that's going to be able to do that accent as good as we want, but that was 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, mid-freshman year.
So I came out here from the East Coast as well, and I know there can be a culture shock, but I know you had other culture shocks. But what's been some of the weird ones that you've seen coming out here from, other than the pizza not being good, coming out from New York to Ohio?
The biggest culture shock for me, like, okay, people are so much nicer here. I don't know if, like, people...
Midwest nice.
Can confirm.
I don't know if people in Ohio who have lived here this whole time, like, would disagree with that, but, like, people are so much nicer here. Like, in New York, I don't know if it's, like, always packed and people are always stressed about that, but, like, it's so, like, mean. Some people are so mean and rude. Like, just getting on the bus and everything, like, oh, my God. Oh,
well, you were in Brooklyn too, which has a reputation that I'm not sure. I don't know how far that reputation spreads, but I don't know. Brooklyn was never somewhere I spent a lot of time, which was kind of by design. But you even mentioned getting on the bus.
Yeah.
Welcome to Little Miami.
Okay. So I've never been on the bus, like school bus, in Little Miami at all. I always drive, or like my parents pick me up. If it's not my parents, it's always my aunt. But I remember going on the bus in New York to high school.
Oh, yeah.
I came here mid-9th grade. We broke down the bus door.
No.
Yeah, they broke, like, kids would run after the bus while it's, like, coming, like, a mile away. And then they, like, broke down the window. And the bus was out of service for, like, the next week.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry, I just want to say there might be background noise. It's someone is moving chairs in their room. So if you hear that, it's not like anything crazy.
Is it Hegel above me?
Probably.
Hegel or Brown.
He's just changing his room around. That's crazy about the bus, though. Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely, it was so shocking because I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And then I had some senior friends, and I was like, and they were like, oh, that's normal. Like, we've broken down so many buses, and I was like, oh, okay.
Nothing like defacing property. My goodness.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Wow.
And then the bus driver got so angry. He was so angry.
And he's already in New York, so he's angry to start.
So stressed with, like, all the students, because he had, like, students from, like, another high school. He was picking them up. But it was the B6 bus in New York, and I remember he, like, just... Kids were, like, running with the bus, like, racing the bus, and then they, like, all jumped on it. They opened the door, and the door fell off. And then they, like, punched the window to get in.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, what's the point of it?
Is it because they missed the bus?
No, it's just, like, they want to get in first. They want a seat.
Oh, because then you have to stand if you...
it might be good to clarify. They're city buses.
Yeah, city buses.
It's not like our bright yellow school buses.
I was thinking
it's
bright yellow.
Yeah, no.
No, the city transport's a little different.
I was literally thinking they're like racing to get on this giant yellow limousine.
Have you been to New York?
I've never. No.
Oh.
I don't even know if I'm going to be honest. It's not really a dream of mine, but I would want to go just to go. Good.
I mean, I feel like there's like all the cities, there's some touristy stuff. Like go see a show on Broadway is cool.
Yeah.
Walk through Times Square, like get your picture taken, like all that. Go to Ellis Island or Statue of Liberty, like some of that. Yeah, it's there's something special to it. But if you're
I feel like I'm kind of exaggerating it because I lived there for like 10 years and I like saw all the bad things like right as my mind was developing, right?
Oh God.
So I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely a beautiful place, but it's definitely not like the pictures. Like,
what was
like Times Square is beautiful, of course. Yeah. Like the Red Stairs, beautiful. Central Park is absolutely. Great. Oh my God, I loved going there. It's just so far and like so expensive to live there.
Yeah. What was like one of your, I guess, touristy kind of things that you like to do when you were in New York? Like favorite thing, like a hangout place or somewhere you go?
There was a sushi place. And I'm not a sushi person, but I like grew to become like in love with sushi after that place. They had these like tables and it would spin and you would like choose toppings for it, make your own sushi, and if you didn't like make it on time, like the sushi would roll away.
Oh no, that's cool though. Oh my goodness. Yep. Wow.
And another thing is, so I became really close with my cousin. Her name is Nozanin. I became really close with her like 3 months before like moving to Ohio. So I was like, oh, that's great. But, yeah, we used to go like shopping a lot to this one mall. And we would just hang out there. It was just, we wouldn't buy anything. We would just like look through clothes, like try on clothes, take it off, take pictures.
Feels like a Kenwood moment. The Kenwood Mall. Yeah.
It's cheaper than Kenwood though.
Oh, really?
Kenwood is really big. Like it has the designer brands too, like Gucci, Rolex and stuff. But that store doesn't.
Oh my goodness.
It just has like small stores like H&M, Old Navy. It has Macy's.
Oh,
kind of your prototypical mall stores now.
I love it. Yeah. A good food court.
Yes.
Oh, always. I love that.
So before you spent the time in New York, you actually immigrated over.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that process? Because we talked a little bit before we started recording, and it's fascinating to me. Like, you said it once to Frederick and I, but you're going to have to take us through it again. I apologize.
So I moved from Uzbekistan. Sorry, I was going to say Ohio. I was like, what?
Not yet.
I moved from Uzbekistan with my whole family, and we're a family of 5, but we were only a family of 4 back then. My younger sister was like a year old.
Oh, yeah.
And, we lived here together with my parents for like, I don't know, like half a year, maybe a year, maximum year. And then we had like some issues with our family, like, because like it was really hard as like new immigrants to come to my parents, like to find a job, like both of them work, and like no person to take care of the kids, right? So they just like, they were like, you know what, maybe we should like bring them back to Uzbekistan, give them to their grandma, take care of them for like until we're stable. And then they did that, and then my mom and dad apparently missed us too much. Yeah, they called us back right away, and they were like, you know what, if we can't like have time to take care of the kids, we're gonna have to figure something out. And they called my grandma to America for like 2 months, and my grandma would take care of us at home. And like in New York, apartments are really expensive.
Oh my God.
And we couldn't afford an apartment on our own, but like there was this really nice man that my dad knew, and he let us rent a room. So
nice.
Yeah, we lived in that room. It was great. It was really comfortable.
Okay, good.
We were allowed to do everything there. It was just like, it was really hard like to get on our feet, but then I'm really grateful like that we came this far.
Wow.
I'm grateful for my parents. I'm so grateful for my parents. Like they've done so much.
Oh my goodness, Jasmina's parents, you're amazing, and Jasmina is amazing. So great job.
Thank you so much. But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then between that, like we grew up. Like while growing up, my grandparents would come in and out, and then a while after, like my uncle and his family won the green card too. So they were able to come, and we were so excited because wow, like now we can like, have family that we know, help each other out. And by that time we had already gotten out like a place of our own. We were like so happy, so excited. Like the excitement was crazy. We were so excited about it. I remember I was like 7 years old. It's crazy. You said you won the green card, but like, do you remember, I know you were really little, but do you remember how the process of like how your parents got the green card and like how difficult it was or how like simplified? Like, honestly, my parents tell me the story. I don't know.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it, but they told me the story. Apparently my mom like was just like out shopping with one of my dad's cousins, and they were just like, you know what, let's just do this. Like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
And they did it. And then, like, apparently one day they just got a phone call and it was like, oh, like, yeah, you guys are going to America. And my mom apparently thought it was, like, a fraud.
Oh, God. Yeah, I would too.
And at this time, I think my dad was in Korea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was working in Korea. Or was it Russia? He's been to both. I really don't know. I'm sorry. But
it's all over.
He was in one or the other, and he was working there, and apparently he called my mom, and my mom was like, oh, yeah, I got this fraud phone call, and it was like, oh, you're going to America, blah, blah, and then apparently my dad was like, did you do anything? Oh, yeah, I just, like, played green card. Oh, that's probably it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's probably it. And then they, like, went to, like, the office and, like, did a visa and everything. They checked it out, and apparently they were like, oh, yeah, this is real. This is, like, you guys actually, like, are going, like.
Wow.
So.
That's crazy. I love that. That's exciting.
So your family's been here for, what, rough math with an English teacher and DMA guy, like 12, 13 years or
11, 12 years.
Ooh, wow. That math was better than I expected, not going to lie.
I didn't think of any math. I was like, 2? Just
I ran out of fingers quick. Is there stuff from your Uzbeki culture that your family is still, like, really closely tied to, or stuff that you guys still practice here?
I think pretty much everything.
Okay.
Honestly, my parents grew up in Uzbekistan, so I think it's really hard to lose their culture for them. Like, for example, my dad, I'm so grateful for him. Like, he's on his feet, like, he's always working for us, and he always tells us, like, once I do this, I'm going to go back to Uzbekistan. Like, I really can't wait to go back to Uzbekistan. And every summer we go back to Uzbekistan for 2 months, right? He absolutely adores it there.
Oh.
And my mom, like, her too, like, it's just about family, I guess. Like,
yeah.
Because both of their mom and dads are in Uzbekistan, they just love being there, and my dad's always like, I remember I saw my dad, like, kind of, like, tearing up and talking about it, because he was like, I just want to go back, and I will go back one day, and I was like, oh my god, Dad, like, don't worry, we'll get you back there. We'll get you back there, once we're all, like, you know, me and my siblings, Sabrina and Fardajan, are, like, settled, I promise, like, we'll give you we'll figure out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so.
I'm sure that's really hard, but that's so awesome that you guys have that opportunity, and, like, your parents, amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for them.
So you go back every summer for, like, 2 months for the entire summer, right? So what are some things that you do when you go back? Like, fun things.
It's so much fun hanging out with cousins.
Oh, yeah, family.
Family.
It's always family, and there's this new thing called Ice Arena back in Uzbekistan. We always hung out there, and it's this thing where it's like there's ice skating, go-karting, food court, shopping, what else is there, bowling, you can watch movies, you can watch 3D movies. It's crazy. I love it so much there, and we hung out a bunch of times there. Like, a lot of my friends here, like in Ohio, like some of my friends, we literally all went back to Uzbekistan, and like we all met up at that place.
Oh wow!
And we were like, yeah, this is our place now.
I love that. It's our place.
Yeah,
that's cool. My goodness. So, your family moved. You went to New York. We're just kind of going in chronological order.
Yep.
You moved to Ohio. Can I ask, like, what the logic was there? Like, was it a job opportunity or just jumping around?
My dad's a truck driver.
Oh, nice,
and
yeah.
He owns a business.
Okay.
Right? So it was really easier for him for, like, his business to manage here than there, because he's so busy there. I mean, he has an office in New York and in Uzbekistan, but it's really easy to have an office here too. Plus, house.
Yes.
House, and it's like
house compared to one-bedroom apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment back in New York, and it was like. It was a nice apartment, just the building was ready to get destroyed.
Dang.
Like, if you know New York, if you've ever lived in New York, you probably know there's cockroaches and rats in your house somewhere. Like, even if it's like 1 or 2, you'll find some. But yeah, we were just like, maybe it's time to move, you know. Plus, my family's best friend, family best friend, they were also moving, and my parents were just like, you know what, what's to lose? Let's just do this. Like, if not, we can always move back.
Wow.
My dad was like, we can just move to Long Island. We can just get a house in Long Island. And sometimes he still has thoughts, or he's like, oh, let's move to Chicago.
Oh,
and I'm like,
goodness.
Excuse you. I have friends here. Thank you. But yeah.
So I'm kind of curious because I think it's a culture that a lot of people don't necessarily know a lot about.
Yeah.
What's something from Uzbeki culture that you think people might be surprised to learn about, or surprised to hear that's so different than what we're kind of accustomed to in our little bubble here?
Surprised.
What's something that your friends from America don't necessarily expect when it comes to something from Uzbekistan or Uzbeki culture?
I don't know if this would count as culture, but like in Uzbekistan, we live in a way different way than here in America. Like, for example, here the houses are like right next to each other and they're pretty much all the same, like, you know, like built. No. In Uzbekistan, the houses like in the village, you can literally have one huge house and then one person like who's poor and broke down and in the next house.
Oh, wow.
It's just a village. And the great part about that is like everyone is so kind to each other. Like, I'm so grateful. Everyone is so kind to each other and always willing to help out, whether like your friends or like or enemy. Yeah, I'm really grateful for that. And then an interesting culture, like tradition we have is it's called Navruz, and it's this thing where we do like I really don't know what it is. I think it's just wheat, but they make this like juice type of thing out of wheat during this Navruz holiday, and it has to boil 24 hours to make it delicious, and it tastes so good. And it's like a day we wear like beautiful, like modest, amazing, like cultural wear. It's so beautiful. If you see the pictures, I love it so much.
Oh, wow.
And it's to celebrate the incoming of spring.
Oh.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Huh. That's amazing.
Yep.
The only thing I can think of where I've spent any time longer than 24 hours making something was like a really dried out pot roast.
Yeah.
Super Midwest. I don't know.
That was the most Midwest thing I've heard all week.
Yeah. Well,
in the crock pot.
and the thing is, they make it in like a really big pot, like huge, like it's
like almost like a cauldron type of ordeal.
Yeah, it's huge cauldron, and they like take turns making a wish on it. Like they'll wash rocks and they'll throw rocks in it, and if you can find your rock, like not you can find it, but like if you get a rock in your drink, that means your wish will come true.
Oh, have you ever gotten a rock in yours?
Honestly to say, I haven't really been to the ceremony that many times.
Yeah, it's spring. That makes sense. Yeah.
I haven't been to this. Also, I mean, it happens in New York. I mean, not New York, in Ohio now. Like, we went last year where they made food, they made like barbecue, they did the big cauldron thing.
Oh, nice.
They dressed up, they did party, but it was such a small restaurant, they didn't have enough people to fit, so we had to leave early. We didn't really get to the fun part. But it's okay. Maybe this year.
Yeah, maybe this year. Oh, my God. I love that. Wow. So you came, I remember this, and I know we were rehashing this before we started recording, but you came and we were, oh my goodness, sorry. It's the end of the day. Oh, my goodness. You had just gotten into my class, and I hadn't really had the chance to talk to you, and we were on our way. Was it back or to? I think it was back because we were all exhausted to or from Wilmington College. And I was like, I have not talked to you at all. And I was like, who are you? Tell me everything. And you were saying earlier, like, how did you feel? Not to be like when I talked to you, but like, when people started like becoming friends with you and start like, how did that process feel? Because you came from, New York for 10 years and then.
Honestly, I'm really grateful for like a lot of people here in Little Miami, because I remember like first class I walked into was choir class.
Love it.
Like surprising thing. So I have this friend Nurhan in this school. Mm-hmm. We went to school together from elementary to like 6th grade, and then we switched schools because in in New York, you like switch schools. It's not like district type of thing. It's not like Little Miami High School, Little Miami Elementary School, right? So we switched schools, and I never saw her after that. And I would be like, oh my God, I don't see Nurhan anymore. Like I used to see her sometimes when walking to school, but I never saw her after that.
Oh wow!
But then all of a sudden, I moved to Ohio, and she's just here in my choir class, and she's like, Jasmina, and I'm like, excuse you?
Small world. Oh my God!
It was so crazy. And then something similar happened with my friend Sabrina. She just it was like a month into me coming to Little Miami, and she walked into the school, and I was like, I know that person. I was like, I know that person and her sister. Like, I recognize it. And then I went up to her, and I was like, Sabrina, and she went, Megan? And I was like, who's Megan?
Oh,
it's
no.
me. Like, we were the bestest of friends. It's crazy, like, inseparable.
That's so sweet.
And then I remember, I told my mom, and she was like, oh my God, yeah, your best friend from, 5th grade? And I was like, yeah, she's here.
We're back.
And, yeah, we hang out every day now. It was so crazy.
That's cool. So it was good you were able to connect because you reconnected with friends. That's really insane. Yes. I'm not going to lie. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. So then because you were able to reconnect, was it easier to, jump into other friend groups and, mesh, or did you create your own kind of?
To be honest, it's always been easy for me to jump into friend groups.
Oh yeah, I know that. But
I'm totally I'll literally go up to anyone and be like, hey, what's going on? What's with the homework? I think I'm just really good at starting a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that. But
yeah, it's a handy life skill.
Yeah, social butterfly.
I'm not bragging or anything, but
when you can, it's
yeah.
You can.
And a lot of people tell me you're really easy to talk to. They say you're not awkward at all when having conversations, and I'm like, I'm really grateful for that, because I have a friend that's cannot talk, and I'm like, I just want to say just talk, but it's not easy for them.
No, yeah, and it's hard for some people to socializing and that social anxiety is I don't know. I didn't realize how it would affect people until I became a teacher. And then I was like, all right, guys, can you answer the question? What is an example of characterization? Or something, dumb like
some
that.
Silly English question.
Yeah, seriously. And then they all just stare at me in crickets. And then I'm like, all right, turn to your friend and answer. And immediately they're like, and I was like, but then I'm like, come back. And then they're like, silent again. Yeah, cricket. But it's always good to have someone who starts the conversation, starts the flow. I remember you were like that in my class, so I was like, Jasmina, do you have anything to say? Oh yeah,
Yeah. Every teacher has that one kid they know they can call on when they need an answer.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate habit of mine, to be honest. I'm like, hey, yeah, blah blah blah. Do you have something to say?
But honestly, I love that about you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You were my favorite 9th grade teacher. You were, and that's because I felt like I was in a group, the Wilmington College thing really changed. I was so excited when talking to you. I was like, oh my God, I just talked to someone, finally, I'm actually getting along with someone, and I was so grateful for you. And it was just great. Every time you called on me, when I didn't even raise my hand, I remember it was just so comfortable. I remember even if I didn't have a good answer, you would be like, yeah, I could see where you're going with that. And I was like, yeah, that's just.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad I made you feel comfortable. That makes me really happy. Oh my gosh, great. Wow. Okay. Then I guess my question for you is this. You came in as a freshman, a newbie, right?
Yeah.
And freshman year is already difficult. The freshman. Oh, God.
Take intro to DMA, gym, and all that stuff.
Oh, my God. Intro to psych, intro everything, intro to drawing. I don't even know if that's a thing, but art fundamentals, right?
There you go.
So what advice would you have for freshmen or for, new kids coming in? What advice would you have for them to get connected?
Something I learned in my freshman year that I wish someone had told me before I went into freshman year was no one cares. Literally no one cares about each other's lives. If you say something wrong, someone is probably already stressing about their own grade. So, literally no one cares. Like, you're the only one that lives in your life. And I saw this one quote, and it was like, I'm the only person that can control me, so why would I try to, like, you know, change me for the worse, or change me for the better of others. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, this is so great that I, like, get to, like, learn this, because I wish someone had told me that. Yeah. Like, no one really cares. Absolutely no one cares about what you do. No one cares about what you said. No one cares about, like, your life. Except, like, if you're, like, really nice and you're, like, kind, people might go around being like, oh my god, she's so, like, easy to talk to. She's so fun to talk to. She's such a great friend. That's really all. If you get into drama, I mean, well, that's just let it go. Yeah. Let it go. Just don't bother getting yourself into drama. Just stay kind, stay nice, and stay, like, humble with what you're doing, and stay mature.
I feel like I'm learning a lot. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So, I love that. What's your goal? What do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to go from here?
Me?
Other than not back to pre-calc. Sorry, what?
I mean, pre-calc's pretty fine right now. I mean, it's easy right now, but I have really big goals in life, and I know I can do it. I just tell myself, you can do it. Like, you can do anything. You've done great things. You can do even greater. Personally, like, that's just how I hype myself up. And honestly, it works so well. And I want to go into, like, college for, like, a really big major. I want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Oh, mama, that's a big, yeah. Cardiothoracic.
I've always wanted to be a doctor. And I remember last year we went to Career Center. And we did, like, what nurses do, and, like, taking blood and stuff. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but, like, this is not all of what I want. This is not everything that I want. This is not everything that I've always wanted. Like, I've always wanted something more. So I always thought, like I need to get to a greater potential of myself.
I love that.
So I told myself, I researched, I was like, neurosurgery? Nah, I'm not really in psychology. So I was like, and then I was watching this movie, and it was just like these cardiothoracic surgeons just, like, helping people, and they were, like, giving it their all, giving it their best. And the scene that made me want to become a cardiothoracic surgeon was the person that was dying, like, he was having a heart problem. His parent, not his parents, his son, I think, told him, like, pull the plug, like, let him die. But he kept trying, and he actually survived. So I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to help people. I'm going to, like, do my best to, like, help people live their lives with health.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, I think that cardiologists and, cardiothoracic surgeons, boom. They saved my dad's life 2 years ago when I had you, actually. Over Christmas, he was in heart failure, and he could have died. We didn't know it, and then we found out because he ended up having COVID, and he just was like, maybe there's something wrong with me. And then we found out he was on the brink of having a heart attack, and they saved his life. So, I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. See, we need more of them. Yeah.
I really, like, I keep telling myself, like, Jasmina, you can go to your full potential. Jasmina, you can do it. Like, honestly, I don't have the most amazing grades, and I know, like, I'm not the best student. I don't get the best awards. However, like, I believe in myself. I think that's all a person needs. Like, if you have, like, discipline towards yourself, and if you're, like, consistent towards what you're moving through, I believe you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
I believe you should be, even if you don't achieve that goal, I feel like God will give you something that you didn't even imagine would happen if you work for it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
I don't think we can end on anything better than that. I don't think you or I can say anything better.
Me either. I'm at a loss. It's so amazing.
That's gonna put a bow on this. So, Jasmina, we're really glad you're here. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming down out of pre-calc.
Thank you.
Send flowers or something to Z-Water. Just walk by this afternoon. My pre-calc grade? Yeah, no, my pleasure. So, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck on your journey. I hope this year goes awesome.
Thank you so much.
We're really glad you're here.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.